Kia ora tātou katoa. He mihi nunui kia koutou. My name is Kay Marie Dunn. I'm the co-founder of Ahau and the project lead for ira. The term ira was inspired by the rarangi kōrero, which is te ira tangata, which means life principle or human element. Over the past 3 months, our team have been supported by the Department of Internal Affairs to take a deep dive into digital identity, to better understand identity and trust, and what this means to tangata whenua, people of the land. Our aim within this project was to ensure that we could influence and ensure that Māori could see themselves within the digital identity future of New Zealand. But identity is complex, it's deeply personal, and it's also been forged on a strong and sophisticated culture, but also a painful and shared colonial history. One area where we saw there was major imbalance in power and decision-making between Crown and Māori is the registration and issuing of New Zealand identity. When I look at my passport or my birth certificate, I do not see my information, my whakapapa details within it. I don't see my marae, my hapū, my whānau, or my iwi affiliations within this government-issued documentation. Why does this not reflect who I am as a New Zealand Māori citizen? But what is the cost if the government do not look after the personal identity information that they are responsible for? Most recently, we heard that the census and its value to Māori communities is worth up to $500 million. This means that when the government make errors in regards to the handling and assessing of our personal information, every single Māori citizen is impacted, and our ability to access investment in health, education, justice, and development is severely compromised. Is it time for us to take back our personal data and information and actually make our own decisions with it? Instead of the Crown spending $121 million on census, what if they had an opportunity to pay us for our personal information? So, we wanted to understand from our own community, what does identity mean to them? We went out and we connected with over 100 individuals, whānau, hapū, and marae leaders, and we asked them, what does identity mean to you? We heard that currently our identity system does not work for our people. We also heard from whānau who are disconnected from their culture. They wanted a clear and safe doorway into the Māori world. And we also had whānau that wanted accurate information on their whakapapa. But from our Māori, iwi and hapū leaders, we heard from them that a Māori-owned and controlled identity system would be valuable if it meant that there was a valid and acceptable identity alternative that was complementary to our New Zealand passport and our birth certificate. Ahau is an indigenous digital identity platform. This is the repository or the pātaka which will hold the ira protocol within it. Ira is a bi-Māori, for-all digital identity system designed to provide a safe place for you and I to store our personal information so that you can share your information to who you want, to where you want, and how you want. We also care about your personal safety, so it's important that we use industry-grade security to protect your information from the outset. We also wanted to make it easy for you to categorize your information so that you could upload your personal details. Now for me, where my whānau and my whakapapa, my genealogy information is important, I want the ability to upload my information. I can upload up to 3 generations of my whakapapa details within our system. And I can then send it to a trusted whānau member, and I can see every step of the way where that information is going. And I can also see when that information has been validated or verified by that individual. It will mean that the information that's been provided is accurate and true. And this wee tick will show that my information has been verified and now is sitting safely within my ira platform. No one can access your information without your express consent or permission. But I also have the ability to securely share my skills, my contact details and information. And I have the ability to revoke or withdraw consent to that information at any given time. What this means is, how can we use this identity platform in other environments where this could work? So imagine if you're enrolling to a university for the first time. You could be legally recognised as a member of your iwi, whānau or hapū. You can enable secure and safe sharing of your information, and also the amount of time that could be saved from the university, because they need to know that they're speaking to the right person at the right time. It's a win-win for everyone. Ahau are committed to taking ira to the next stage of development. We've got some amazing partners, including an iwi and a range of hapū that are prepared to take our prototype and test it within their communities. We're also committed to sharing our information to not only benefit Māoridom, but also indigenous communities from around the world. So our ask, what will it take for us to work in partnership with you, whether or not your government or investors support us to take ira and ahau to that next stage of development? We are seeking an initial seed funding of $50,000 to help us continue our research and working in partnership with our communities. That will then lead us to a $200K investment that will enable us to build and test our pilot in partnership with Māori communities. Ira is enabling mana-enhancing access to personal, verified information. However, there's no good having an amazing digital identity platform if it cannot be accepted at a policy level, at a legislative level. We also need to test that the system can be integrated and interoperable across environments and also across multiple areas such as banks and other places where this can work. But this is a challenge to New Zealand government. What would it take for hapū and iwi to become the legal and accredited authorities of our own identity? And who would be willing to be an early adopter or receiver of an authorised Māori digital identity? If you would like to come and talk to us, please do so. We're going to be upstairs, and we'd love to coordinate further about how we could collaborate and work together to help make a digital identity solution a reality, not only for Māori communities, but from communities around the world. And finally, I just want to give a big mihi to my team, because without them, we would not have made it here today. So kia ora to Mokena, Caitlin, our executive sponsor, Ellen, from the Department of Internal Affairs, and also our amazing champion, Elena, for helping us get to this stage today. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.